Investors are funny creatures. Sometimes you have to literally pull their teeth out for them to listen to investment opportunities. Other times they will line up to buy worthless things like meme coins, like the Trump coin, Melania coin. We all know there's nothing behind those coins. It's nothing, right? We all know that. Trump knows that. Melania knows that. But people will line up and buy those things even though there's nothing behind them. And then you have other situations like the stock of LEEF Brands, for example. In the good news is that this stock can go up 50 to 100x. The bad news, it's probably gonna go up 4 to 8 times from here. And barely anybody wants to pay attention. Why? Because the industry that LEEF Brands operates in is so hated. It is so hated.
We're about 4 years into this great bear market.
If you look at the chart, the industry's ETF is down almost 95% from its top. And as a result, barely anybody wants to look at anything in this kind of industry. But a lot of times in industries like this that nobody wants to look at, that's when you find incredible opportunities. And already from the bottom to what it's trading today, this stock is up 5x already from the bottom in an industry that nobody wants to touch. Now, before I talk about specifically what is likely going to make this stock go 4 to 8x on fundamentals alone, let's think about the blue sky potential first. What can make this stock go up 50 to 100x? Really, if Trump opens his mouth about this industry and gives people hope about this industry, that's all that's needed for individual stocks in this industry to just start going like crazy. Because right now, the industry is so decimated.
And for a lot of these companies, the only hope is federal reform. This is no longer a buy the basket market where you just buy something like the MSOS ETF that gives you broad exposure and hope it goes up. This is transformed into a stock pickers market.
And if we go back to this chart, the reason why it peaked, in February of 2021, this has a lot to do with Biden becoming the president back then. And Biden was supposed to make things happen for this industry. And as most politicians, they just blob and talk and don't get anything done. And he hasn't done anything for this industry. Now, most of the industry participants completely gave up on it. But now, Trump is actually more likely to do something for this industry than Biden. And people are missing this. And all that is needed for this industry to get hope and for these stocks just to 2x, 3x, 4x, all it needs is for Trump to open his mouth that he's going to do something about it. Now, he doesn't even have to do anything about it. He just needs to open his mouth to do something about it. Put some tweets that he's going to do something about it. And whether you're a Republican or Democrat, whether you like Trump or dislike Trump, one thing for sure, he's got a big mouth, okay? And he talks a lot. He tweets a lot. So it's not going to take a lot for him to get people excited in this industry. Now, in terms of fundamentals, because while I like the 50x potential, it's dependent on a politician, okay? Now, that's like a lottery ticket, okay? And I don't play lottery, but if you buy me a ticket, I will take the ticket. So I'm happy to play, but now I like situations when I can make, 4 times of my money, and if things turn out even better, I can make 50 times my money. I will take that bet. So now, fundamentally, LEEF Brands is positioned incredibly because, number one, you have barely any competition to get shares. Why? Because everybody hates the industry. But LEEF Brands trades around $20 million market cap, okay? On revenues of $30 million, okay? Revenues that are going to grow. Now, in terms of profitability or EBITDA, they are about EBITDA neutral, okay? So go and find me a company that has 30 million of neutral EBITDA revenues that are about to double, okay, over the next little while, and profitability is about to expand. Because right now, the product that they're selling, which is an extract, in order to produce that product, they have to get ingredients from a third party, okay? And in 2025, they're going to create their own ingredient for half of the cost.
So with LEEF, what I see as different, Penny, is the company has a definable set of fundamental catalysts that I think can really transform the business. Yeah, so let's walk through 4 what I think of as fundamental catalysts. And I say fundamental because these aren't waiting for reform or waiting for new states to unlock. These are things that will change with the business. So first and foremost is planting something called Salisbury Canyon Ranch, which is a ranch the company acquired a couple of years ago that's going to be our new cultivation site. This year, we're planting the first 65 of eventual 187 acres. Why this matters is it's going to drop the cost of goods sold roughly in half. And if you do the math on the margins, that's going to drastically change the profitability of the company. And we're looking to plant that farm in the spring, have the first harvest in the summer, replant, and get a second harvest this fall. So growing our own material and dropping the COGS is the first thing I'm excited about.
What do you think is going to happen to profits of a company like this?
The third thing is out-of-state opportunities. So California is the world's largest market, and my friend Emily Paxia at Poseidon once said to me, Jesse, competing in California is like training for a marathon at altitude. And so I think to be successful in California means you're not just one of the best in California, you're one of the best in the country, and you're one of the best in the world. And with LEEF Brands, we're specialists in bulk extracts. And so we have an opportunity to bring the playbook from one of the top extractors in the world to new states. So think a New York, a New Jersey, Ohio, or Florida.
Third thing is they are about to increase their yield because of the groundbreaking technology that they are about to use in their operations.
Number 2 is advances in extraction technology, and this is going to boost yields. So this is proprietary in nature, so I don't want to give away too much, but just think about this. If you're running the same amount of material, but all of a sudden you can get more out of that material, this is the change that we're talking about. So if you couple having your own material from the farm and getting more out of it, that again can be pretty powerful for margins.
You don't get those kind of opportunities and those kinds of valuations unless an industry is super hated.
I think LEEF Brands is an underappreciated and at times a misunderstood story. And if I were to sum it up, Penny, I would say LEEF Brands represents an opportunity to invest ahead of change. And for me, that's really exciting and why I joined the company.